Tonight, the fire breaking out on board a passenger jet here in the U.S. Passengers racing to get off, emergency slides deployed. President-elect Donald Trump's pick for AG Matt Gaetz, a growing number of Republican senators want to see the House investigation on Gaetz. And the tropical threat we're now watching, when it will affect the U.S. First tonight, that fire on board a passenger jet in Denver.
Go, 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 go.
Passengers forced to evacuate. The plane had not yet taken off. What caused the fire and the race to get out? Also, new images tonight, the flight from Europe bound for the U.S., nearly making it here, then hitting turbulence. The images tonight, passengers thrown in the cabin. And the other passenger jet making an emergency landing in Los Angeles. Trouble with the landing gear. Tonight, President-elect Trump's pick for AG Matt Gaetz. Republican senators want to see the House ethics report on Gaetz, accused of misconduct with a minor. What the House Speaker is now saying about this. The murder trial that became a flashpoint in the debate over border security in this country. The defendant, a migrant in the U.S. illegally, accused of killing nursing student Laken Riley. What the prosecution said today, describing the victim fighting for her life. In New York City and across the Northeast tonight, red flag warnings for 43 million Americans. This now extends across 8 states, dangerously dry conditions. Tonight, disturbing body camera video of a deadly police shooting, officers responding to a call for help, shooting and killing the homeowner who made the call. The war in Ukraine, and tonight, President Zelenskyy telling reporters he believes the war with Russia will end faster under Trump. At what cost? What Zelenskyy also said, Ian Pannell in Kyiv. Back in the U.S., the man facing execution in the shaken baby syndrome case that made national headlines. That execution put on hold for a time, but tonight, the decision now in from the Texas Supreme Court. We're watching a tropical storm in the Gulf tonight, the path, where and when it affects the U.S. Tonight, the concern on the International Space Station leaking oxygen. NASA and Russia cannot agree why. The slap, former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson at 58, comes out of retirement to take on 27-year-old Jake Paul. For the first time, a female Air Force service member receives the Silver Star for her actions in combat against Iran. The new host of the Oscars also revealed right here tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Friday night. We begin tonight with the fire on board a passenger plane in Denver. Passengers racing to get off the plane, just one in a number of air scares in just the last 24 hours. That fire breaking out in a cell phone on a Southwest flight. The plane had not yet taken off. You can see the passengers there scrambling to get off the plane, some evacuating down slides. We're also learning more tonight about the flight on its way to the U.S. from Europe, just about here, and then that drop, 8,000 feet, and the flight turning around, going all the way back to Europe. Now you see the images emerging, the severe turbulence that tossed passengers in the cabin. And yet another scare, the Alaska Airlines flight making an emergency landing in Los Angeles. The crew shouting instructions, telling them to brace. The plane touching down despite trouble with the landing gear. ABC's Trevor Ault leading us off with the fire in a cell phone on that plane in Denver.
Tonight, chaos on board this Southwest plane in Denver. A passenger's cell phone breaking out in flames, catching a seat on fire.
Evacuate. Evacuate. Evacuate now. Go, 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 go.
The plane parked at the gate, filling with smoke. 108 passengers scrambling to get out.
Leave your stuff. Get out.
Get out. Get out.
Some using the emergency slides.
It was just automatic chaos and panic, and everybody was freaking out and trying to grab their bags and get off the plane.
Southwest Airlines says the crew successfully extinguished the fire. 2 people were injured. The owner of the cell phone treated for burns, though it potentially could have been far worse had the plane been in the air. It comes a day after the turbulence scare on that Miami-bound flight from Europe that nearly made it to North America. New video showing the Scandinavian Airlines flight shaking violently. Passengers tossed about, screaming. The Airbus A330 descending more than 8,000 feet to find smoother air, then making the unusual move to turn around and head back to Europe. The airline says they do not have the facilities and staff to inspect the plane in Miami. Thankfully, no one was injured. And overnight, an Alaska Airlines flight with a landing gear issue during takeoff. Passengers told to brace for an emergency landing in Los Angeles.
Brace, brace, brace.
One of the Boeing plane's tires visibly damaged. DC's airport removing what appeared to be remnants from the runway. Alaska Airlines says they're investigating what might have caused the tire to malfunction. The aircraft will be pulled from service while that work is done. And David, on that cell phone battery fire, the FAA says there's been at least 59 incidents related to overheating on planes this year. It's why some of these devices with lithium batteries have to be kept as a carry-on so they can be accessed in case they catch fire. David?
Yeah, remarkable 24 hours. Trevor Ault tonight. Trevor, thank you. Tonight, President-elect Donald Trump assembling his new team at lightning speed and with mounting questions. Trump at a black tie event at Mar-a-Lago with many of those he's named, including former Congressman Matt Gaetz, his pick for Attorney General. Gaetz had been accused of misconduct with a minor and was under investigation in the House. He resigned from the House this week, which means the investigation ends. But Republican senators want to know the findings of that ethics report. What House Speaker Mike Johnson is now saying about this tonight. ABC's Mary Bruce in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Tonight, a growing number of Republican senators demanding to see the House Ethics Committee report into President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, former Congressman Matt Gaetz. The bipartisan committee had been investigating Gaetz for allegations of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. Sources tell ABC News a woman testified he had sex with her when she was only 17 years old, something Gaetz has denied.
I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false.
The investigation ended this week when Gaetz abruptly resigned from Congress hours after Trump tapped him to be his attorney general. At the time, House Speaker Mike Johnson was non-committal on whether the committee's report should be released.
As far as the timing of a release or report or something, I don't know. The Speaker of the House is not involved in that, can't be involved in that.
But today, after attending a gala with the president-elect at Mar-a-Lago, Johnson declaring the report should never see the light of day.
I believe it is very important to maintain the House's tradition of not issuing ethics reports on people who are no longer members of Congress. I think it would open the Pandora's box.
But over in the Senate, several Republicans who will have to vote on whether to confirm Gaetz say they want to see that report.
What we want to do is make good decisions based upon all the relevant facts and information that we can get.
Texas Senator John Cornyn even suggesting he's ready to issue a subpoena if necessary, telling reporters we need to have a complete vetting of the nominees, not only so we know the nominee is qualified, but also to protect the president. I'm sure it's not in his best interest to have any surprises in the House Ethics Committee report.
I think there should not be any limitation on the Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation, including whatever the House Ethics Committee has generated.
So you want to see it?
Absolutely.
Overnight, Gaetz also at that Mar-a-Lago gala. Trump didn't mention him in his remarks, but he did praise another one of his highly controversial cabinet picks, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., one of Trump's top campaign supporters, who he has now chosen to lead the Department of Health and Human Services.
I guess if you like health and if you like people that live a long time, it's the most important position. RFK Jr. Bobby?
Kennedy, a prominent vaccine skeptic, deeply suspicious of mainstream medicine, has vowed to reshape the health system in the U.S.
The agency, the USDA, the FDA have been captured by the industries they're supposed to regulate. And they all have an interest in subsidies and then in mass poisoning the American public.
Today, a host of public health experts denouncing his selection as dangerous. The Center for Science and the Public Interest saying Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is not remotely qualified for the role and should be nowhere near the science-based agencies that safeguard our nutrition, food, safety, and health. Other groups like the American Academy of Pediatrics singling out his long campaign against vaccines, most of which have been used safely for decades, though Kennedy claims otherwise.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Tonight, former acting CDC Director Dr. Richard Besser with the medical consensus that vaccines have saved lives.
There's nothing that I did for my patients that had more proven value for their health than making sure they were vaccinated fully and on time. And Mr. Kennedy has done more than just about anybody in shaking the confidence that parents have in the vaccines that are given to children.
And today, Trump turning to another rival turned loyal supporter, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, to be Interior Secretary. And tonight, he's filling out his communications team, naming longtime aide Stephen Chung as communications director, and for press secretary, campaign spokeswoman Caroline Levitt. David.
Mary Bruce with us all week long. Mary, thank you. We turn next tonight to the murder case that became a flashpoint in the debate over immigration and border security in this country. A migrant in this country illegally, now on trial in the death of 22-year-old Georgia nursing student Laken Riley, and what the prosecution revealed today. Steve Osunsami from Georgia.
One of the most difficult moments in this Georgia courtroom today was when the police officer who found Laken Riley's body took the stand.
To the university, I found it. Ma'am. Oh, I need EMS immediately. She's not breathing.
The court was silent as they watched the graphic police body camera video of him trying to save her life.
Starting CPR now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The killing of the 22-year-old nursing student became a key point in the debate over immigration.
He shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy.
26-year-old Jose Ibarra, who's charged with murder, is pleading not guilty. He's an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela who illegally entered the country in 2022.
He went hunting for females on the University of Georgia's campus.
Prosecutors say he was living with his brothers not far from the trails where Riley was jogging. Riley's mother was in the courtroom and broke down as she heard her daughter try to call 911 for help.
Clark County 911. Hello, this is Clark County 911. Can anyone hear me?
When Laken Riley refused to be his rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly.
Prosecutors point to Ibarra's thumbprint on Riley's cell phone and video of him throwing away clothing with her DNA as proof of his guilt. Ibarra's lawyers are challenging the forensic evidence.
This is a case before a judge and not a jury. If the judge in this case convicts this accused murderer, could spend the rest of his life in prison. David?
Deeply troubling tonight. Steve, thank you. At this hour, there are red flag warnings for 43 million Americans across 8 states. The Northeast, dangerously dry, wind gusts now reigniting hotspots. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, growing fire danger in the bone-dry Northeast. Millions bracing for gusty winds and more fires.
We are following a developing story. A stubborn brush fire in Inwood Hill Park has sparked back up.
In New York City, firefighters still putting out hot spots from a fire that broke out in Upper Manhattan earlier this week. New Jersey Transit Police posting these videos of a recent fire near commuter train tracks, warning anything can start a fire, even a cigarette butt. Meanwhile, outside New York City, more heavy smoke. Firefighters conducting back-burning operations. Some 400 personnel from 40 agencies containing the Jennings Creek fire, burning on either side of the New York-New Jersey border.
Today, we've got a crew in from Montana. This is going to give us a hand, along with a couple of folks from Colorado that were already here helping out.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation. And David, officials say the Jennings Creek fire is now 90% contained, but they're still worried about the winds this weekend. What we really need is some rain. David.
Thanks to those crews from Colorado and Montana for helping out as well. Stephanie, thank you. Now to the disturbing body camera video of a deadly police shooting, a man who called for help, then killed by police in his own home. He called 911 to report 2 people fired their way into his home. The video capturing officers arriving at Brandon Durham's house, kicking down the front door, hearing screams, finding Durham wrestling over a knife with someone. One officer then firing 6 rounds, killing the homeowner. The other person was uninjured. That officer is on administrative leave tonight. We turn now to the war in Ukraine, and tonight President Zelenskyy telling reporters he believes the war with Russia will end faster under Trump. At what cost for Ukraine? What Zelenskyy also said. Our chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell from Kyiv tonight.
Tonight, ferocious fighting underway in Kursk, the border area of Russia Ukrainian forces took over earlier this year, as President Zelenskyy predicts the war will end faster under the policies of President-elect Trump. 50,000 Russians, supported by North Korean soldiers and weaponry, now trying to drive Zelensky's men out of Russia. And the Russians also advancing on the front lines inside Ukraine, in the eastern Donbass and northeastern Kharkiv regions. But in a new interview, Zelenskyy saying, for us, a just peace is very important, so there'd be no feeling that we lost our best people for the sake of an injustice imposed upon us. The war will end, but there's no exact date. But Trump has vowed to end the war quickly.
We're going to work very hard on Russia and Ukraine. It's got to stop. Russia and Ukraine's got to stop.
But for now, Russian attacks on civilian areas incessant as Ukraine readies to negotiate with Trump. Above all, Ukraine wants security guarantees, but at what cost?
David, though it's unclear from Zelensky's interview exactly what the cost is going to be, I think the reality on the ground is that they may have no choice but to hand over parts of their country to Vladimir Putin if they really want peace. David?
Ian Pannell from Kyiv tonight. Ian, thank you. Tonight we have learned back here in the U.S. that Texas Supreme Court has cleared the way for the execution of a man convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter. His conviction resting on evidence of shaken baby syndrome. Robert Roberson was set to die on October 17th when a bipartisan group of legislators issued a subpoena for him to testify, triggering a delay. Tonight, the court has ruled that subpoena cannot override the execution, though no date has been set for the execution now. When we come back on this Friday night, we're tracking a tropical threat, where and when it affects the U.S. in the coming days. Also tonight, that slap, boxing champ Mike Tyson at 58, taking on a 27-year-old. And tonight here, the new host of the Oscars in a moment. Tonight here, we're tracking Tropical Storm Sara taking aim at Central America and then likely affecting the U.S. The storm expected to hit Honduras and Belize tomorrow, unleashing up to 35 inches of rain. It will then move across southeastern Mexico before heading back into the Gulf. The system could then bring heavy rain from Louisiana to Florida beginning Tuesday. Tonight, NASA is now raising concerns about a chronic oxygen leak on board the International Space Station. The station has been leaking air for about 5 years now. NASA is worried it's a sign the structural integrity of the ISS could fail. The Russian space agency disagrees. NASA does not believe the crew is in any immediate danger. When we come back here tonight, Mike Tyson, the fight tonight, the 58-year-old Tyson making his return against a 27-year-old, and the slap even before the fight. Also, the new host of the Oscars revealed tonight, and the Silver Star, she made history, who is our person of the week. To the index of other news tonight in the fight, getting a lot of attention tonight. Former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson coming out of retirement to take on Jake Paul in Arlington, Texas tonight. Tyson slapping Paul in the face during the weigh-in yesterday. Tyson's now 58. Paul is 27. Tyson hasn't had a professional fight in almost 20 years now. We learned today Conan O'Brien will host the 97th Oscars. It'll be the first time for the former late-night host. He hosted the Emmys in 2002 and 2006. The Academy making it official today.
This is incredible. I've been handed an Oscar. I'm an Oscar winner. It's amazing.
Host.
Oh, I'm hosting?
Yes.
I'm an Oscar host?
Exactly.
Oh, but do I still get to keep the Oscar?
No.
Oh. When is it?
March 2nd.
Four-time Oscar host Jimmy Kimmel calling this an excellent choice tonight. The Oscars air March 2nd. Here on ABC. It'll be great to see him. When we come back tonight, she is the Air Force captain making history tonight after what she did, taking on drones and missiles from Iran. Who is our person of the week? Finally tonight here, our person of the week, the Air Force captain making history for her actions against Iran. This week, honored after what she did. Tonight, Captain Lacey Hester becoming the first female Air Force member to be awarded the Silver Star, the nation's third highest medal of valor in combat. Her call sign Sonic, a fighter jet weapons systems officer. Here she is doing pre-flight checks on an F-15E Strike Eagle. Earlier this year, April 13th, under the cover of darkness, Iran launched more than 300 ballistic missiles and drones toward Israel. That night, along with the rest of the fighters in the 494th Squadron, Captain Hester and her pilot, Major Benjamin Irish Coffey, flew their fighter plane right toward the drones, using all of the air-to-air missiles on their plane to take them out. The U.S. Air Force unit shooting down more than 80 Iranian drones. And tonight, ABC News obtaining this image of the team right after their mission was complete. On the right, Captain Lacey Hester and Major Coffey next to their commanders. In the hours after, President Biden would praise them.
Hey, you guys are the best in the whole damn world, man. The whole world. No, that's not hyperbole, man. Both these squadrons. You're incredible. I apologize for my enthusiasm. I'm supposed to be much more reserved.
Not at all, sir.
And tonight, Major Coffey has now been awarded a Silver Star. And Captain Hester making history, getting a Silver Star too.
Presentation of the Silver Star Medal to the United States Air Force's first female recipient, Captain Lacey Hester.
The ground and air crew that supported the operation that night, cheering on Captain Hester. And so we choose Captain Lacey Hester and the entire team in the air that night. We thank you for your service. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.